Very good evening, good afternoon. I know it's a post-lunch session. I'll try to keep it very brief, very quick. Um Here I am talking about our business, Zarthi. I always like to start with a very quick introduction about myself. Thoda sa, everybody should get to know who am I, what is our business about. So our legacy goes back to 25 years. Progressive Infotech started as a traditional hardware reseller for HP. वहाँ से करते करते they got into cloud in 2012, became the first cloud partner for AWS in India, and started building the whole cloud journey for the country. 2016, I came in with a product vision, came in with the idea of trying to help customers manage their cloud better, and built my first startup primarily focused on cloud cost management. So that business thankfully worked out well. We are listed in Gartner, Forrester, all the major research firms, and we're globally among the top CMPs in the world today. Solving that problem, being an ISV, I used to talk to and interact with a lot of customers where I realized that the product wouldn't just cut it. Customers at the end of the day needed something more hands-on, and that's where I wanted to foray into the whole services and IT services space, right? Be one more company that has IT services and reselling available on the planet. But obviously, the product guy in me wanted to do something creative, something unique, and that's how Zarthi was born. The basic idea here in the last 3 years of building Zarthi, we've been lucky enough to get product market fit very quickly. We're serving more than 100 customers, working with more than 30 plus global providers. Very happy to say Zarthi today, the youngest business, is actually larger in size than all the other businesses combined. So I think we have something figured out here, and hopefully I'll get to present that to everybody here today. Keeping in line with the theme of today's event, procurement, the vision of Zarthi was very simple. We wanted to be every business's Zarthi, right? How can we help a business achieve their goal? How can we help them scale faster? That was the basic idea behind everything we wanted to do under the Zarthi brand. And that's where the idea of brokerage came in. Everybody here comes from procurement, so I don't want to go ahead and tell everybody what that is all about. But I must say, for the fact that IT procurement is a very small percentage for most of you here, the complexity of it seems to be much larger. And that doesn't add up, right? You should be spending more time with where your volumes lie, your raw material, your sourcing, your manufacturing units, right? But when it comes to IT, you'll most likely have a dedicated team that does IT procurement, which is probably 1%, 2%, 3% of your overall procurement budgets. Why is that really happening? I think part of the problem statement is that the buyers today don't have an easy way to buy IT. Subscription डाल दो, license डाल दो, renewal डाल दो, support डाल दो, payee डाल दो. You're still trying to figure out which provider has which model and how does it really work. And if I am as a procurement guy who doesn't come from a tech background, my IT team is going to basically spin me around in circles. So basically as a procurement team, we have two routes to go to market. One is direct. I directly go to my OEMs, AWS, Azure, Palo Alto, Checkpoint, and I go and tell them, boss, we need this from you. Now here, you have to manage all these different vendors. Obviously, that's a nightmare. A typical company today is procuring more than 70 to 80 just software licenses across their spectrum. You're going to go ahead and start dealing with small issues like credit cards. Oh, sir, we don't do selling in India. You have to attach a credit card and buy online. There goes my ability to negotiate. Imagine having to evaluate alternatives. IT will come and say, नहीं, हमें यही product चाहिए. ये अकेला product है इस दुनिया में जो ये काम कर सकता है. That is not the case, right? As a procurement team, it's our obligation, our duty to our business to actually evaluate alternatives and at least create a competitive market in the process. But no. IT wants one product, one type of license. That is what we have to somehow get them. Where exactly are we going to negotiate, right? Forex, huge hurdle. India में Forex payment करना आसान नहीं है. You have to go to the banks, you have to get your additional regulatory requirements out of the way, and all that again adds a lot of overheads. And lastly, obviously, low bargaining power. How much time are you going to spend negotiating for those 2-3% line items, which in your day-to-day are just an overhead? So all in all, direct usually doesn't work in most of the companies we've worked for. अब वहाँ से then you switch to channel. You're like, यार partner बता दो, तुम जिससे procure कर दोगे, शायद वही मुझे services भी दे देगा. Well, now what happens is the provider will get you their partner of choice. So they'll come and introduce you 3 partners. Those 3 partners are the ones who only sell that provider. So AWS अपना partner तो लेके आ गया, but उस partner को बाकी किसी cloud के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता. That defeats the purpose. You wanted somebody to represent your interest as a partner, not the OEM's interest. You're going to go ahead and start dealing with what we call partner bias. Now, all of a sudden, the partner says, AWS is the best product, sir. There is no other cloud provider. Back in the same conundrum. You're going ahead and dealing with inconsistent quotes. आप खरीदने at the end AWS गए थे. How is it possible that 3 partners are giving you 3 different prices? These are global OEMs we are talking about. They do not have authority to give 3 different prices for the same product. So which means somewhere the partner is not being transparent in what exactly is their price or buying power. And lastly, the negotiation cycles. Again, typically when you're sourcing, you're negotiating with one person, one company, and closing. Here you're negotiating with a partner, then the distributor, then the OEM, and hoping at each level you can cut them down to actually get the best price possible. All this is too complicated for something, once again, which is a single-digit number in your overall procurement budgets. So there has to be a simpler way. There has to be something that comes in and just cuts out all this day-to-day hassle from our lives. That's our idea with Zarthi Brokerage. We want to be the first cost-plus marketplace in the country. So the idea is we know the cost we are buying at, and we will expose that to you. Whether it is in the form of their OEM's bill, whether it is their console, their credits, their partner contracts, whatever it takes to tell you that this is my price that I'm buying at. And before we ever go to the OEM, I would agree with you, a markup that I will charge for doing the transaction. Again, everybody here understands that no partner can run a business in a pass-through model. Sure, maybe you think 5% is too much, it should be 3%, but I think everybody here has always been kind enough to tell us that, ठीक है यार, इतना तुम्हारा fair बनता है. So this takes away all the hassle from you. You pick up the phone, you call us and say, yaar, my IT team wants this license. Can you get me your cost price for it? We go ahead, get you the best price, go ahead and get you the procurement done, and you're done before you know it. So you're at no point worried on, do I need 3 partner quotes? We might need 3 OEM quotes. We might want to compare 3 different firewall providers. But no longer are you looking at the same provider, but from 3 different partners. And that's the power of what we want to bring to the market. So think about it, right? You're buying AWS, Azure, GCP. One is in INR, one is in dollar, one is somewhere in some other part of the world. We will take care of your currency hedging. We will take care of your costs. We will take care of the buy price. And every month we will give you one single bill, which is nothing but the cost plus our markup. And that makes your entire journey as a procurement team that much simpler. And once again, reduces your effort because now you have a company that understands IT going and fighting with your IT teams to say, there is a better way to do this. That's fundamentally what brokerage is all about. A few more things on why us, right? So I already mentioned local currency invoicing. Withholding taxes, it's a huge headache a lot of different times. We talk about private pricing contracts. Maybe some of these contracts are large enough that we can go and negotiate a private pricing contract with these OEMs. We are talking about vendor audits. Obviously, you guys have your guidelines, sustainability guidelines, vendor guidelines, right? You want to make sure that all these OEMs follow those. So we will take care of all those overheads for you. And best part is we are actually an IT services company. So we understand the product advisory part of it. If you want to push back, look at other alternatives. We can be that start point. So how it works is you come and tell us my company is looking for a firewall. We will first start by telling you who are the best providers for it. What are your options, right? Help you identify alternatives, whether it is a Checkpoint, a Palo Alto, an F5, or AWS, and Azure. From there, we will help and work with your IT teams to understand what will actually fit their need. Then starts the negotiation, then starts the closure, and then starts the lifecycle management. Right now, most of the times, procurement comes in at the negotiation phase. IT has already made up its mind on what they want to buy. We can support that, but we would love to be your champions to be able to push back and say these are other alternatives to consider. And at the end of it, it will bring back the negotiation powers to us to make sure that we are able to control what exactly is getting procured at what price point, etc., etc. So that's us In very, very simple terms, brokerage is supposed to be a cost-plus marketplace, making the entire procurement journey for IT as simple as possible. Just a little bit about what people think about us. Very happy to tell you that we're transacting close to $50 million globally in this model as we speak today. We have customers across sizes, across verticals, startups, enterprises, manufacturing, healthcare, IT. And again, the power of this model is very, very simple. We just do not think that there is something to be hidden when you know there is a partner in between. So that's the basic premise of what we are here to do. Our footprint, so we are about 100 plus customers. We're a 250 people company. Reselling is one of our businesses. We obviously do services as well. So very happy to eventually grow our portfolio with you guys, be able to provide services. But again, keeping in theme, we kept this presentation centered around procurement as much as possible. So that's us. Thank you.